I don't hear anything. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where Are They Now? I'm your stand-in host for tonight, T. Pablo, and I'm happy to be here. I just got the call that our regular host had an emergency, so keep her in your thoughts. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest. She goes by the name of The Sue. She's an author. She's a life coach. She's an all-around entrepreneur. I've been to her coffee shop. She got some great coffee. And, she's a joy to talk to. So without further ado, everybody say hi to The Sue.
Thank you. Hello, I'm glad to be here this evening. Thank you for the invitation. Looking forward for the conversation and learning about me. I'm a lifetime Detroiter. Just glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't get a chance to really prepare, even though I know you personally. I always like to have my notes together, So
Okay.
we just going to talk about, some of the things I know about, and we're going to ask some questions that people would like to know. The first thing that people would probably like to know is, where are you from?
I am from Detroit. I am a lifetime Detroiter, born and raised in Detroit, mostly on the east side, but also I have lived on the west side too. And I was born in the township, as they call it. It's a special word that they call it. 8 Mile. I'm an 8 Mile. My parents, when they located here from the South, they settled over what we would call, I guess, Ferndale now or something, but where most of the people who migrated from the South moved in a particular area. So that's originally where I'm from. And then at 3, they booted me to the east side, but I am an 8 Mile.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I'm from the township myself.
Okay.
It was originally called Oakdale Gardens. It was the stop along the Underground Railroad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they called it Oakdale Gardens. Then it was changed to Royal Oak Township, and it's part of it's split in half. Half of it is a school district. It's Oak Park High. That's the side I was on. The other side is Ferndale High. Which side was you on?
I was on the front. I lived on Gilchrist.
Oh, you was on the side.
Yes, that's where I was at.
I lived on Gilchrist too.
Oh, you what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I believe we was in the Brown Project.
Oh, yeah. We lived there too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was. Yeah, I heard more about it. I lived there, but I was so young. But I remember returning there on several visits after we moved to the east side, because my family, their lifelong friends were still there. So, yeah.
So what all the schools you went to?
Well, most of my schools I went to was on the east side. I went to Joy. I went to Foch, Southeastern. I went to Finney. I kind of jumped around. And then I ended up at Cass. So I went to several schools in Detroit. Oh, and I went to Mumford. too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What college did you go to?
I went to Wayne Community College, and then I transferred to Wayne State for just 1 year through their bridge program. So still
Cool.
all around Detroit. Oh, wait, no. And I went to a school because I lived in Europe for 3 years. So I went to a American German school for 3 years when I was age 9 to 11. I went to that type of a school.
All right, all right. So you are an author, is that right?
Yeah, that's one of the hats. I'm an
And
author.
how many books have you written? I've heard you written many books.
Right now, I have 3 books that's published, but I have one book. The other 2 are partnership books. And then I have another book that's coming out. So it'll be a 4th book by the end of the year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And I have 3 of them here. This one is a partnership, and it's called Taking the Limits Off. It's a collection of women, 7 stories. And each story tells how they take the limits off of something particular in their life that helped them to move forward. And it's 7 women, all of them Detroiters, and we're telling our stories. And we're coming up with, we'll be doing workshops and just enrichment, not just for women, but the focus is women. My first book, introduction, is No More Crumbs. Now, it took me 3 years to finish this book. And this book is about how you can lose your identity in life. And it can be through relationships. It can be through being a parent. It can be in traumatic relationships. And that's what No More Crumbs is about. And it's about a young lady who, at this time when the story opens, she's like in her later 30s, getting ready to go into her 40s. And she becomes depressed. And in her depression, she realized that she can't do it alone. So she takes her sister's advice and goes to a fellowship. And at that fellowship, she goes into like a relaxed state. And she gets to understand herself through moving the layers. And she realized that she had lost herself. Even though she was a grown woman, her mentality was still as a young child broken because of trauma, childhood trauma that led to adult trauma. So that's what No More Crumbs is about. It's excellent. It's an excellent read. It is also coming out, the workbook is coming out with this particular book, because in this book, I introduce 7 steps, how you can come from healing, and it deals with hope. It comes with engaging yourself. It comes with aligning with your purpose, your value, who you are. L means letting go, releasing, and living, and then making a life plan. And that's what the companion journal will be that goes along with this book. And another special partnership that I'm very excited about came from the coffee company, really not the coffee company, but one of our social partners. Her name is Gail. And she created this book, and it's called Coffee Fairy Tales. And she took our coffees, each coffee, because we have regular coffee, house blend, dark roast. I think you like dark roast stronger when that's the one you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the strong one. You like that. And she took 7 of the coffee, cinnamon, that's my favorite, kind of spicy, kind of warm. And she took every coffee, and her creative imagination created human beings. And each human being had a love story within them. My story, and she happened to put mine on the cover, which I'm excited about it because it's with 7 stories. I didn't know that she would put my story and my image on the cover. And I'm Cinnamon, which is a queen. And my story is an older lady who is a queen. She has authority. She has kingdom. She has dominion. She has everything physically, as far as financially. But at this time, she doesn't have a love, someone to love her, someone to respect her. And that's what her story is about. The other stories, men, we have men in the story too. It's three men, three women, and then also the author. And the men are in here and they're telling their story about finding love. Some of them are very different. And that's why this is one of the men. His name is Vanilla Vaughn. His story is how men, when it comes to relationship and love, they say women are more emotional, whatever. Men can be more strategic. Is that true? You think so? Men can be more strategic and can, I think, compartmentalize their decision to choose love. The woman can have all the frosting, the cake, and everything on the outside, but a man in his story was looking for something a little more, not just a dime piece, as they call it nowadays, but he wanted someone to connect with him spiritually and emotionally, and that's what his story is about. So each story in this particular book, Coffee Fairy Tales, takes love, adventure, and use coffee, and it takes you different places. So I'm very excited about this book too. And those are the three books that are out now. Two other books are coming along: the companion journal to No More Crumbs, and then another book that I had composed from being a director of a mentoring program for young girls called Girl Majestic. And I pulled all of the sessions together from years and years of working with young girls ages 9 to 17. And I took the sessions and I put it in a book, and it's called a life journal. And it talks from everything from acne to emotions to bullying to personal hygiene to how to consider a young man as a boyfriend. And that'll be out at the end of the year too. And it's called Girl Majestic. It's a workbook. So that's some of the books.
All right, all right. I want everybody to know you're listening to Where Are They Now on Detroit High Television. The call-in number to talk to our guest tonight is 313-646-8267. That's 313-646-8267. So my next question is, at what point did you decide to be an author? What happened? What made you decide to be an author?
Okay, that's pretty good. Well, I always loved to read. I was the girl you would see. I guess you would consider me something like a little nerdish girl. As a young girl in elementary school, I was the one that hid behind the book. I would read everything and anything, and I just love word. I love the written word. I love the spoken word. And so I began to compile journals, and I used to do poetry. I used to write these little plays, and I realized, wait a minute, I'm doing all this writing, but I'm keeping it to myself. And I think by then I was married, had children, life happens. And sometimes you can put your own dreams on a shelf while you help others, launching children, supporting your family, your husband. And I think it was like 10 years ago, I began to pen stories that I said, I'm going to put it together and make a poetry book. It seemed easy, it seemed fun, love poetry. And so I decided to do it. But in the midst of 10 years, writing it, rewriting, writing it, and just allowing, I guess, my own personal struggle with esteem, my self-esteem, tell me that, oh, it's not good enough, you're not that, and I put it back on the shelf. So like 5 years ago, out of my journals, I began to take the pages, and that is the birth of No More Crumbs. And after I began to write it, now it's like it's a process as a creative, and I'm sure you can identify, but you more kind of, I guess, through the years took a hold on the business side too. But as a creative, that was the part I only knew and loved was create. Okay, I can create, but now you have to put the book out. And so it took me about a couple more years to understand that, meet some people, get in some circles, and do some research and begin to put the foundation of releasing the book. So it's been a journey learning how to be a creative, but also understanding that it is a business. And that's why now it's just, okay, books, books, book, and now doing interviews and enjoying the whole community of other authors, other writers. I've always been in the entertainment industry, and this is just another part for me. So just adding the other tools and using those skills to just continue to push the books out.
Right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Venetia Lyons, aka The Sue, right here on Where Are They Now? Again, the number to call in is 313-646-8267. That's 313-646-8267. And we have a lot of questions coming in for you, Venetia. And another question that we have here is, when you're working and writing books and all of a sudden another idea come in your head, what do you do? That was a question. What do you do?
That's a good one. Well, I don't want to say it's ADD or something, but even though I'm on a project, when I get another idea, I immediately stop what I'm doing because I don't want to lose it. So I might just jot it down in my computer system, pick up my phone, take some notes, maybe even begin to research on it. So I end up definitely focus on the project I'm working on, but also working on another project, trying to keep that ideal fresh. Because for me, I think you can lose it. So I want to be immediately put it on paper, something that I can go back and reflect and then do some notes on it. So if it's in the middle of the night, I grab my phone, which is the closest to me, and go to that note part in that phone, that icon, and take the notes, and I begin to write it down. If I'm out somewhere and the ideal strike my mind, I begin immediately, because the phone is closest to me, write down the notes. If I'm engaging in a conversation with someone, and it could be a family issue, and I say, oh, it sounds like a good book or it sounds like a good program, I immediately stop what I'm doing and I write the notes, because I don't want it to get away from me, because at that moment it was something important. It was something that intrigued me, that caught my attention. So I stop what I'm doing, take those notes, even if I don't get back to it in a week, in a month, or even a year. I take those notes down because it's something that intrigued me, that I felt at that moment was important.
True artist. Our program director's got a lot of things going through her. She constantly doing something. But anyway, so now you says that music is a healing,
yes,
a healing process, right?
Yes,
so,
music.
In the healing process in a person's life, how is music a healing process? I mean, I got my idea because I'm a musician, but tell our audience.
Yes, you're a musician. Yeah.
Tell our audience how that works.
Okay. For me, and also in some of the workshops I do with children, young adults, and women and men, music has the ability. First of all, I believe music is spiritual. And to say that, I believe that it comes from the Creator. I believe it comes from the Creator and it comes through us. And it's beyond just the words, and it's beyond just the instrument, that is able to touch something that's really deep inside of you, that's able to bring a freedom to your mind. And when we think about music, there's so many ways. When I talk about healing, but something that's hit my mind right now when I talk about music, I think about some of the music that you listen to, and they say it's baby making music. So it can hit your spirit and shift your whole mindset. So when I talk about the healing process and what music is able to do, it what it does is able to pull you away from that moment. It could be a stressful moment. It could be a moment that is very traumatizing to you. But if you allow the music, the melody of music to enter into your spirit, it can open up a peace inside of you that is beyond, as we think, human being. You can't say, okay, I know what it's doing. It's beyond us. And music is able to get inside and bring a relaxation to you. It's able to cease the trauma. It's able to even stop a trigger. Because sometimes we have triggers in our life that take us to a place that something happened years ago and makes us angry, makes us fearful, makes us depressed. But a particular type of music, it's jazz for me, or it can be a light blues for me that can take me, or just straight melodies with a guitar, and my spirit becomes calm. So I have sat in sessions with young ladies and men where we would just silence the room and put on music and allow the melodies to talk to the spirit of the person. And then we would go into talking about maybe a traumatic experience, maybe something that did not go right on their job, or some difficulty they have with their children or their spouse or partner. And the individual is able to really shift. The music brings a melody within the spirit of a man that can shift you from the thing that seems so important to what's really important. And you're able to move away from the trauma. It's almost like your system reacts to the melody. So when we talk about healing anyone, I would advise anyone, regardless if you're seeing a therapist, if you are on any kind of antidepressants, take some time. If you don't have a music therapist, because there's people out there who does it for a living, take some time, get in a room and select and go through some music and just relax. And you will be amazed. And it's like your subconscious will begin to rise up and your conscious will begin to shut down. And it's a very powerful tool when we talk about healing. And if you're doing anything in your healing process or setting up new practices, you have to incorporate music, because that helps you to heal. So yes, music is a very powerful tool when it comes to healing.
I must agree with you. You have a program I see is called it's a music. My note says it's a music project called All We Need Is Love. How they come about for you? How they come about?
That's it's the music project that we did. It started in 2017 and it didn't complete to 2 years later. And it's called the Love Project. And what we did, we brung artists, usually artists ages from 11, rappers, musicians, music producers, musicians, choirs, and we brought them into this project called the Love Project, me and my partner, Mr. Thomas. And we brought them in to the understanding that you can create music without the cussing, without the foul language, to create a different atmosphere. So we began to, and we had a producer, which is Big Hus, which happens to be my son, to have these tracks and bring these young artists and older artists, young artists, and they would just come into the studio. We was at in Southfield at Ivy's, and they would come into the studio. We did it for 2 years, every Sunday, from 11 to 10 p.m. We'll bring artists in, we'll just play tracks. And then you have a writing session. That means write whatever you want, but you cannot cuss and you cannot use foul language. And some of the artists were coming in would look like, what? Wait, they would be stumped. Like, what do you mean we can't come? How would we? You can't do that. You know, you got some gangster rappers that we want to say they ain't no gangsters. They just out there following the trend. And so they would listen to the track that was selected by the producer, and they would write. And after they write, because it would like that, you come listen to the music, write, it would take 2 or 3 hours, however long it took, you can collaborate with whoever's in the studio, singers, rappers, whoever's in there, you collaborate with them. Then we would put you in the booth. And so we would put them in the booth raw. It was so much fun. And did that for weeks on end. You bring young people who are professional, who have been in the music industry, people who wanted to get into the industry. And we were creating a collaboration of music can be powerful. And then my part, because I became the executive director on it, because one of my hats is I'm in the nonprofit arena, and most of my friends and other ones, they own nonprofits. So we wanted to bring a nonprofit dealing with, because I deal with domestic violence, but we had domestic violence nonprofits in there, those who deal with cancer, those that deal with young girls' self-esteem, young boys' self-esteem. We had business owners come in. One of the young ladies at that time, she was the developer and the builder of Tim Hortons on the east side of Detroit. She came in, became a partner. Another young lady, became a partner. She had a business. So we had business owners. We had nonprofits. We just had individuals to come in. So once we finished the music, we needed somebody to promote it. So that was my part, to bring business owners. We had Boost Mobile, they came in. We had the city council members, they came in to come in. So we get to music, mothers of murdered sons and daughters, they came in. And you use the music once it was recorded, once we mixed it, once we got it done, constantly reiterating that you can produce music and have a positive thing, because we wanted this music to travel. So the nonprofits took it, and when they would have their programs, like Mothers of Murdered Children, they used the music when they had their programs. Miss Minnie Davis, who had Men in Motion, who worked with Judge Mathis, she took the music to Belize, because her group of young men went to Belize and they built a school. So she took the music to Belize, and the music was just going everywhere. But the thing about the music, when we talk about creating positive music, they didn't play it on the radio.
Well, we're going to do it. That's a good segue into what we got to show the audience.
Okay.
So our program director will start this music video, and we'll see what this is all about.
Thank you.
Tonight, after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police.
After a shooting at the historic Emmanuel AME Church.
2 people have been shot, one of them fatally.
Tonight with breaking news, 10 people shot, 1 fatally. Child's birthday party.
On this Tuesday, we begin this hour with breaking news. West Side, where police are investigating a deadly shooting at a gas station.
1 man was killed, another is hospitalized.
Tonight, a deadly shooting at a gas station takes the life of a young father. He was gunned down.
We are following breaking news, one where police are investigating a triple shooting.
Well, a 21-year-old man shot and killed while walking down the street.
Let's love each other. All we need is love. Yeah. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. Don't take my. All we need is love, love, love. starving on the streets. Politics is lying. I'm sick of hiding from these sheets. Not running no more. Let's make a stand. If we all come together, we can help our fellow man. I think we lost our way. I think we lost on making things better. We need it. The truth is approaching fast. Let's not wait. The time is now. Time is here. Don't take your love from me. There's been times that I've been tired.
Much more can I take? So many souls erased, nothing left to find. We've got to hold on, hold tight and be strong. And you will find love, laugh and cry love. Then your soul cross the waves. Forgive the ones that caused you pain. Open your eyes. You will find that all you need is love. All we need is love. Love. Yeah. All we need is love. You will find all we need is love. La 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 la. All we need is love. All we need is love, 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 love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love. All we need is love, 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 love. All we need is love.
All right. All we need is love. I see you got my man T Money Green on this.
Money Green.
My guy. We got to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Andrew, we got to get him on the show. I know you listening to talking to my program director. Also,
Right.
was that Teddy Riley on the keyboards?
Yes, it was.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a little bit of New Jack Swing in there, huh?
Yeah.
Teddy. Yeah, that was a nice video. I really dig
Thank
that.
you.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah. So you another thing that came up was that people now your experiences. I'm gonna go down the line right here, okay? And you let us know.
Okay.
Now, you're director of Women in Touch as a nonprofit. You're founder, co-owner of Ooh Wee Coffee. I've been there, nice coffee.
Yes.
I like those shakes you made for me.
Okay.
And you're the
Thank
founder
you.
and owner of Born to Reign Clothing Company,
Yes.
owner of Strength for the Journey Publishing,
Yes.
co-owner of Full Fledged Carpet Company,
Yes.
owner of Chosen Homeschool Center, director of Girl Majestic Monitoring Program,
Yeah.
executive director of Urban Cinema, executive director of BHP Productions,
Yeah.
and community parent organizer for WCDC. What that mean, WCDC?
That was Warren County Community Development Company.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got all that going on. That I have to commend you. I didn't know that. I'm not trying to put your business out there, but your friend is my best friend, so he did tell me about that. All this stuff. All right, I like it. Now the products that you have is No More Crumbs. You talked about that. I think all these are books.
Yeah, those are our books, and it's just and it has products like cups and mugs and T-shirts attached to the books.
Right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to or you're watching Where Are They Now? And our special guest is Vanetta Lyons, aka The Sue. The number to call in, if you choose to, is 313-646-8267. That's 313-646-8267. Also, let's see here.
And I need to add on to that. I have a travel agency company. I'm a travel professional.
What's the name of your travel company?
The name of my travel company is called Let's Go.
Let's Go?
Let's Go.
And what kind of deals you have?
I have some great deals. Matter of fact, Monday I just returned back from a cruise. We went to, where did we go? St. Thomas, St. Martin, and Jamaica on Royal Caribbean. But what I have coming up in the next few months, I have a trip to Jamaica, and the packages are getting put together. I have a trip that we're going to do, a Vegas trip. That's being put together. But also we're going to go to Punta Cana at an inclusive resort, and that's going to be a great deal. Taking a group of people who haven't been there, and to this, it's the Hyatt. The Hyatt has these different resorts, and they're new. This particular one is new in Punta Cana, and they treat you like royalty. They have swim up suites, and you're on the beach in the sun. And when I say inclusive, they have 8 restaurants that you can go to 24 hours. They have swim up bars. They have, they have there's a lot of activities. So I'm putting together packages. And also in 2024, I will be putting together a package for Africa, going to Ghana. And happened to always wanted to go, but Stanley Baker, he has a cousin there, and she's going to be our host. And when you have someone already who have boots on the ground, who lives there, she's retired there, she's going to be a host. We're going to be gone for 10 days because we need some time, because one day is full travel. Once you're on that plane, 13 to 14 hours, once you get to the land, I mean, we are going to be happy, but you need that rest time. So we're going to spend 8 days, and we're going to go to the dungeons. People call it a castle, but that's not a castle. It really is a dungeon. And we're going to do the dungeon. We're going to go into the community. We're going to visit individuals who live in the community, tribes. We're going to meet a chief. And then we're going to do some shopping, the marketplace, do all those things. We're going to go to the beach, because in Africa, sometimes the miscommunication and the uneducation of us as Africans, we don't understand that they have beautiful beaches there. They have beautiful land there. So we're going to just take in a culture and a spiritual trip in Africa, and I'll be having the information on the social media, on my website, for groups, individuals who like to go to Ghana with us this coming year.
Stanley I did communicate with Stanley's cousin in Africa, and she's waiting.
Oh, okay.
She's waiting on us to come over there. And
yes, she is.
Going. Okay, that's no
question. Okay, yes.
On that trip you finna plan, keep me posted on that. But I
will.
We come down to the end of the show.
Well, that's how I had a good time.
Yeah, it's been great, and your information was fantastic. I learned a lot. Even though I've been knowing you a long time, I still learned a lot. And
thank you.
really surprised, you know, and I have a newfound respect for what you do.
Thank you. I always had a respect too for you, but you do too.
Oh, thank you so much. And
We have background noise.
I know who that is. That's
We
my
have your rah-rah team is over here.
tell him get in the camera. I want to see what he looking like.
Come in the camera. That's the camera right there. You can't have you.
Eddie Big, what's up, brother?
Hi, Andrea. Hey, I didn't know all this stuff you talking about. I didn't ever tell you. I didn't know all of this. I knew most of it, but not all of it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah,
Right,
come down to the end of the show. I call you, Stanley.
Okay.
We come down to the end of the show, y'all, and it's been fun, and I'm glad y'all showed up. Again, I stood in for our regular host, Kayla. What's her last name? Kayla Trout. Coop.
You did an excellent job.
But
You
she'll
did
be,
an excellent job. I'm glad.
she'll be back next week with a superstar or somebody on that show. I know she is. So make sure y'all tune in next week. So without further ado, again, we appreciate you coming on. And don't be a stranger. We want you back. You understand?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That plan for everybody, because
you
do have them going around the world, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Have a good time. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much, Andrew. Yeah.